Welcome back to Sergeant War Dog TV. Today we want to talk about suicide prevention, PTSD, and TBI, traumatic brain injury. The first Marine that I knew that committed suicide was before we even crossed the border to Iraq. And back in March, maybe it was February 2003, the Marine walked into a porta-john, took out his Beretta 9mm and shot himself in the head in the porta-john. And that was before we even crossed the border in Iraq. Let's see. The next Marine that I know about that committed suicide took place after my first tour in Iraq. And while he was out at one of the gun ranges, he found a bullet laying around on the ground. I think he was supposed to be on suicide watch, but he found a loose round on the ground, threw it into an M16, and shot himself from the chin up. The helicopter flew out, picked him up. They flew him back to the base hospital to do what they could, but that was the second Marine suicide that I ran into. Like I said, the one before we went into Iraq and then the one right after. Yeah. Let's see. The third Marine suicide took place after he got home, after he returned home from Iraq. He and his wife got into something. She wanted a divorce, and he hung himself. Yeah. He hung himself. So, military suicide has been a real big part of my life, man, since I was 18. Since we all left the country to head over to Iraq. Like I said, one did it in the porta-john before we even crossed the border. The second did it at a range on one of our bases, here in California, but once we came back from the first tour. And the third ran into some marriage problems. And once he found out, his wife wanted a divorce, he hung himself, took his own life also. So I tell you that suicide prevention means a lot. Stopping other veterans from committing suicide as much as possible. It's something serious to me, to the heart. I don't know exactly how it is that I can get my message across to the guys to hold on with me the way that they're holding on, the same way I hold on every day. But if I could get them to come outdoors, man, just come out and hunt with me, just camp, fish, get those things off their minds, man. I'm frontline infantry, man. I was there the first day of the Iraq War. I turned 19, 20, and 21 during this war. So my life, as well as entire generation of warfighters, is been nothing but war, man. So that's the mission of Sergeant War Dog TV, man. As far as suicide prevention is concerned, I like to bring as many veterans as possible out to the outdoors to camp, hunt, fish, shoot, just be them again, to do some of the things they can only do overseas in a war zone or off in a remote military base, usually hundreds of miles away from home. Come down here to Central Florida with me, though, man. Sergeant War Dog TV. Salute.